everyone. Welcome to the Book Over, a little book club where we talk about books, especially the ones that give us book hangovers. I'm Sarah. With me is Megan.
Hi.
And today we are doing shots.
Yay. Book shots
of anthologies. There's so many that have like recently come out. I feel like that I just wanted to talk about them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of charity anthologies have come out lately, but there are all kinds of anthologies, really.
Mm-hmm.
Every genre, every type, from full on to novella to just like a little sneak peek of what's to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a lot. I try to get anthologies when I see them. And I'm realizing that I really need to do that because I'm finding out that there's like, oh, this character's little story is in this anthology and I don't have that anthology. And so now I have to try to track down it somehow.
Because they expire, they go away.
Yeah. And so it's like, now I feel like this deep need to always get them if I can. I recently got the Nightingale one. Mm-hmm. Because charity and there was a lot. It's like 50 plus.
I've never seen so many authors in an anthology before.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then I saw that Rena Kent was in it, and she was saying that her story is a good one for like a future. I think she's doing the kids of the royal elite.
Yeah, I saw like Aiden, Aiden Elsa teaser.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I have to get this. And then I know there's a bunch of other authors in there that I like. So I was like, okay, I'm getting this. But that takes me to like why I like anthologies is because I've discovered new authors in it. Because I've read one of the first ones I bought or received was Stories of September. And that one had a short story that just went along with the world, The Evil Love World by Ella Fields. So like this one's headmaster, and I always say his name wrong, Taurin, Taurin, but that one's good. And it's got some good steamy scenes in it that was like, and this is pre like Lords. So this was like, oh, like I like that kind of thing. So that's I think why I like, because it's all short stories. So it was like it didn't take that long to read the story. There were like 15-ish or less chapters. And then that one actually had another, I discovered Kay Webster. And hers was He Made Me Stay. And that was my first story romance. Ooh. And I was never something that piqued my interest before. And then I read it and I loved
it. Yeah, that is what's great about anthologies is you get it for like the one or two authors, and then you end up thinking, oh, this isn't that much time. Let me just, it's like almost like an extended sample sometimes. So you get to sample authors that maybe they're not on KU, maybe your TBR is so big, you just don't, you don't always just pick up the newest author that you see. So I do really like that about anthologies. I'm quite torn if I prefer it to be like a short like story that like leads into something, or if I like it to be a full. I like just recently read an anthology where everything was a full story, so I'm not used to that, and I'm like, oh, I actually like this because I'm usually not a big short story fan, but it was decently length. So I like that there's so many varieties with anthologies.
Yeah, I think it just depends, because I like it when if it's a short story that revolves around a world and it gives that side character their little story, or just like gives you like a more of an epilogue type thing of like, here's these characters 5 years from when you last read them, like I like that kind of thing. Gosh, that's gotta be really long though, like for all full stories, like that's a thick that's thick. But then like Boy God, a lot of them are two like halves. They're like part one of a story.
Yes.
So I don't know. I know like there's mixed reviews on if people like that or not too. I enjoyed it. I only so far have read like two in that one. And that's like what I also like about anthologies is they're good like, hey, I just can like, I need a hair of the book or something
quick.
quick, you know, I'm gonna just read this really quick and then move on, kind of
It's like
thing.
I have an hour or two. Let me hammer out the story really quick.
Yeah.
And well, it's funny you mentioned Bully God because I remember one of the first like bully anthologies I read was like Brutal. Oh my god, no, it was like I did Brutal Night too. That was recently, but no, it was Bully Class of 2020, I think,
Oh,
and that was like all the starts of books. It wasn't like a novella. It wasn't a full book. It was all like the
the
starts of
sample.
books.
Okay.
And then they ended it so then as soon as it ended they could put the books out. And I like that because it did, again, it was like it gave me a taste of like, am I gonna like this? Because sometimes with bullying I have trouble getting into a story because it's like harsh.
Mhm.
So I thought it was like the perfect amount to like get me sucked into each of the stories. And then I did get introduced to some new authors. So I think that's the like anthology that struck me the most and made me think, okay, now I'm gonna buy all these other anthologies.
Right. Right. And
Hmm.
I actually just recently, because I couldn't decide what I wanted to read, so I just got like a bunch of samples
Hmm.
to like read through them. And I did. Like I read a couple of them and I was like, oh, this one's good. And then I'm like, okay, let me read this one. And so like now I have a list in my head, like which one, because sometimes I'll read a sample and be like, I need to start the next book right away. But then like this time I'm like, I'm shopping around. So that's like kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But yours
And
is all
then
one place.
yeah. And I like doing the samples because like it's like my almost my TBR list. It's like so I can see the little pictures of what I want to read.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but like you were saying, it's also good for like when there's these other little stories that just don't have a place. Like Caroline and Suzanne have one for Zodiac Academy with two of their characters, and
Mhm.
it's about a moment that takes place in the series that's talked about all the time. So it's like it kind of is like would be a prequel, but it's just like a small moment. But they put it into that the new night one for the Ukraine, which I'm
Okay.
really looking, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's like giving fans something that they've always wanted,
Yeah.
you know. And I definitely like can't wait to read it. But it's like it's not big enough for like a whole novella either. So
Right.
it's just kind of the perfect amount. So yeah, anthologies have so much flexibility.
Hmm. Hmm. I agree. Yeah, I like them. And I'm actually really excited. So Angel Lawson announced that she's in the Filthy Elites
I
one that's
saw
coming up
that.
end of April. So that's a standalone.
That's a different twist where I don't think I've seen one where it has to be a standalone.
Right, right. So she's like, it's a dark bully complete standalone. So I'm like, that's exciting because that's like, there's gonna be no to be continued. It's just a complete on its own story. So it was like, huh.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for them. Like, and I used to get like in like newsletters and stuff, like get this like free anthology, and I was
Mhm.
getting them, and then I kind of stopped. But then like I'm kicking myself over the Eamore Lake one so much because I don't know if I had the opportunity. I might even no, I don't have that one. I don't even know when that one came out. Like,
It was the Make Count one. That might have been a year ago now, I feel
see,
like.
so I might have not realized or seen it. I should look. No, I did look. I searched
Yeah,
and I found
it's
out
like
what it
it
was.
was like one paperback left for an absorbent amount of money,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like now I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna turn into that person that's gonna hoard anthologies just in case I stumble upon another series and then later find out, hey, they're in this
Small story.
anthology.
So, yep. Well, and a lot of times they're a decent price too. Like before, like it'll be like 99 cents to pre-order. I'm like, well, can't say no to 99 cents.
Right. Yeah. You can't, I mean, 99 cents. Like,
And then the price does go up. So I'm like, okay, okay, you got me here.
yeah, exactly. I agree.
But yeah, it does seem like usually they come out with well, a lot of times they come out with the story later after the anthology's over. They'll like republish or it'll be a full length book or unless it's one of those special stories. So yeah, the hoarding of anthologies makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to make a folder on my Kindle for all those just because I just feel like lately I just keep on seeing somebody like post, hey, that couple you wanted to hear about, I did their story in this anthology, and you're like,
Like
all
there's
right,
like
pre-order.
there's an explosion of anthologies recently. Definitely more than it used to be. It used to be like I'd see like in the indie world, like I'd see like 2 a year, like
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe 3 a year, but no, like
a lot more.
at this point, I feel like there's like 4 coming out soon and 2 that just came out, and yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like they're definitely. Well, I think there's more indie authors than there used to be. So now we're getting more in anthologies.
yeah, yeah. When it's nice, so it's great. I enjoy them, and it's a good thing to just have on hand for when you need a quick read. Or and then I also don't feel bad not finishing one, because I was reading an anthology short story and it was kind of really weird for me, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna move on to the next story, and I did, and I felt completely okay with that because I still have like a whole book full of short stories. So
Yeah, that's kind of perfect, actually.
yeah. Yeah. Anyways,
So I think we're pro anthology.
I
Yeah.
yeah, which is funny because I think originally, like a couple years ago, I wasn't so much into them, but now I'm really loving them, especially after like reading it and like discovering stories or authors and being like, oh yeah, it's nice.
I agree. I think I just originally thought that it was all just the beginnings of story. It was like the first like 10 chapters of a story. And now we know there's so many different types of anthologies and stories that authors put in there.
Yeah.
So it's good to know. So a lot of pros: discovering new authors, getting side character stories and scenes that we wouldn't have gotten before, um, being able to see if you like the book before you buy it. Pro anthology.
For anthologies, yeah. All right, everyone. Well, we hope you find an anthology that you enjoy. And if you need help finding one available that we liked, we could also recommend it. And
Get in a
now,
Facebook group.
yes, yes, exactly. Join our Facebook group, ask us, and we will see you next time on the book over.
Read all the books.
Bye.
Bye.